Hey there, my old buddies. After decades of diligent survival work, the starvation expert has finally turned things around. Not only did I catch a 49.5 kilograms deer with a trap, but I also got to eat delicious roasted deer leg in the wilderness. I also had crunchy, chicken-flavored fried snacks. When I got thirsty, I had some warm, appetizing herbal tea. I even had a candlelit dinner in the middle of the jungle. The quality of life here is way better than you could imagine. The Carpathian Mountains in Romania are not only high and dense, but also very remote. There are many wild creatures living here, full of vitality. Everything is thriving. Ed took a helicopter to a meadow deep in the jungle, ready to face his challenge. And as we all know, the most important thing in survival is water. After packing his luggage, Ed wanted to head towards the valley. But before he could take many steps, there was a thunderclap in the sky. Man, this weather changes faster than a mood swing. It looked like a downpour was coming. Not wanting to ruin his hair, he had to stop and start building a shelter. He found a fallen tree to use as materials and covered it with leaves to make a simple shelter. Considering that in this area, the night temperature drops drastically, sleeping on the ground would drain body heat. So Ed found some moss nearby. This stuff is thick and soft, perfect for a mattress. After collecting it, put it out in the open to dry. He hadn't had a drop of water yet, and he could already feel a slight headache from dehydration. Ironically, it started raining, but he had no container to collect it. This feeling was worse than eating something terrible. What's worse, the night temperature plummeted. Ed curled up in the shed, shivering. He couldn't take it anymore, so he had to exercise to maintain body heat. That's how he barely made it through the night. Today's mission was to find water, make fire, and build things. No map or compass, relying only on years of experience. While searching, Ed noticed some blueberries growing in the bushes. He picked a few and put them in his mouth. They tasted sweet and tangy. The vitamin C content is dozens of times higher than beef. The further down the mountain he went, the richer the resources. After trekking for a while, he finally heard the sound of flowing water. Approaching, it was exactly the water he had been longing for. Ed, already extremely thirsty, didn't care about filtering or boiling. He just went down and started drinking. It tasted cool, sweet, and authentic. Thirst-quenching power is dozens of times that of beef. After solving the immediate water issue, Ed planned to build a shelter near the water. He collected some logs nearby, crossed them to make a tripod, and put branches on both sides. Finally, he spread a thick layer of leaves on top. To keep warm, a shed that didn't block wind or keep out the rain was finally done. After finishing this, Ed wanted to get a fire started today. He went to the open ground to get some dry grass for tinder. He even took some materials from a bird's nest. "You're so selfish, shame on you." Laughter. He returned to camp to prepare the base. But without the right tools, something that should take 5 minutes took him 2 full hours. After everything was ready, Ed officially started the fire-making venture. After frantically rubbing for over half an hour, he quickly got the ember he wanted. Then he transferred it to the bird's nest and blew gently. But perhaps because the tinder was too damp, it extinguished before the flame could catch. They say failure is the mother of success, so Ed decided to try again. Seeing the tinder smoking, it failed yet again. Ed was so angry, he started cursing in English. Realizing the problem was with the tinder, he didn't plan to give up. He mustered his strength and started the 3rd attempt. As the saying goes, 3rd time's the charm. This time, it finally ignited. However, this joy was short-lived. In the blink of an eye, the flame died again. What the heck? Does he have to suffer cold and hunger for another night? Watching Ed's bald head at night, I couldn't help but feel bad for him. Learning from yesterday's lesson, early in the morning, Ed collected a bunch of dry grass. He left it out to dry. While waiting, he looked for protein to replenish energy. Survival is hard physical work. He saw a worm on the ground. Starving, he didn't hesitate and put it right into his mouth. It had a smooth texture, leaving an aftertaste. Searching more on the grass, he found a plant called yellow duck. The roots of this thing are rich in carbohydrates. It tasted like a long-forgotten carrot. He packed some to take with him. By now, the tinder was dry enough. Eliminating all factors of failure, the flame was naturally ready to pop out. Excited, he couldn't help but shout again. This seemingly small step was a big step in changing Ed's life. With the addition of fire, his quality of life immediately jumped up a level. A roof overhead, a fire in front of him. But Ed still felt something was missing. If anyone knows, please tell me in the comments. Then he roasted the yellow dock he dug up. Although it still tasted bitter, it provided some calories. But before he could be proud, something went wrong again. He accidentally ate too much, almost making himself ill. Ed realized if he didn't change his menu, it would be a dangerous situation. Fortunately, on the fourth day, while out for a walk, he found signs of large animal activity. He heard the faint sound of a deer in the forest. Following the sound, Ed saw a deer. He got excited. It made him salivate. If he could catch it, he would definitely live in luxury. Action is better than just thinking. According to his experience, set up a spring-loaded trap on the deer's path. Now it was up to time. While waiting, Ed walked to the meadow in the forest, planning to catch some small prey as an appetizer. There were a lot of grasshoppers here. He aimed and caught 5 or 6 of them. He put them on a stick and grilled them over the fire until they were crispy, oily and sizzling. One bite was crunchy, tasted like chicken. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. To accompany this delicious barbecue, prepared to make a tea. Lacking a suitable container, he cut a piece of birch bark and used melted resin to seal the gaps, making a delicate little bowl. Then he went to the creek, half a bowl of spring water. He added hot stones to it and finally picked some leaves to add. A bowl of nice hot tea was ready. One sip was refreshing, warm and appetizing. After waiting all night, Ed went to check the trap early in the morning. From afar, he saw the trap had been triggered. Zooming in, it was actually a deer. He picked up a stick, and seeing the creature was still struggling in the trap, kind-hearted Ed chose to end its misery with one strike. Then he carried the deer back to camp. Considering there might be brown bears, to avoid inviting trouble, he moved the camp to a better location a few hundred meters away. Using a stone tool, he skinned the deer and took off the 4 legs. Look at this solid, warm leg meat. Ed was salivating. High-end ingredients often only need the simplest cooking methods. Dug a big pit in the ground, lined the bottom with stones, and then built a raging fire over it. When the fire went out, he arranged the venison neatly inside, covered it with leaves to lock in moisture, and finally filled it back with charcoal and mud. Now he just had to wait for the delicacy to be ready. 3 hours passed quickly. Ed opened the pit, took out the hot meat, and tasted it on the spot. The meat was delicate, tasty, and the texture was even slightly sweet. It had a unique flavor. Not to mention, the protein content is way higher than beef. After a full meal, Ed started processing the deer hide. After drying it in the sun, it became a stylish deer hide coat. After putting it on, his look and style improved a lot. Wearing this to see a date would be amazing. Oh, speaking of a date, I don't have one yet. Laughter. In the days to come, Ed guarded the fire and ate venison every day. Although it was comfortable, he felt it wasn't refined enough. Tomorrow he would leave here, so he prepared to treat himself. He collected blueberries and wood sorrel from the bushes and raided the grasshoppers on the ground again. Then he returned to camp, made 2 candles from pine needles and birch bark. As the sun set, Ed brought the candles and food, came to a flat stone, and began to enjoy a candlelit dinner. First, some tangy wood sorrel salad. Then he spread blueberry jam on the deer meat. One bite was delicious. Not to mention the protein content was way higher than beef. Finally, some blueberries to finish. The wonderful meal was finished. The next day was time to go home. Packed up his luggage, said goodbye to the little shelter, and successfully completed this challenge.